when you're building a custom tube chassis for a hot rod, there's a lot of things that you need to look at and check. Today, that's what we're talking about. I want to give you some heads up stuff, things to pay attention to. I mean, you can see we've come a long way since the last episode when we were unboxing stuff. I didn't film most of that because, for one thing, it's very boring. But I do want to catch you up to speed on everything we've done to get to this point. There's been a lot of checking, double checking, making lists, checking them twice, that kind of stuff. So that's what today's episode is all about. Stick around. I'm Mike. You're watching My Car Shop. Remember that this channel isn't just about look at everything I'm doing. Rather, it's about look at what you can do if you're willing to think outside of the box. If you're willing to not spend much money, use what's available to you, become resourceful, and, well, that's what old school hot rodding is all about. So I want to bring you over and get you up to speed on kind of everything we've done to get to this point so that you're kind of aware. There's been no rocket science here or anything like that. Like I said, I haven't shared that on camera with you, but I do want to get you up to speed where I'm at, where my head is. And I got some other really cool stuff I want to share with you too that's been here that I haven't put on camera yet. We're going to today. There's just so much fiddle farting around to get things right. Like this was crooked and so forth. But my goal, bring you this way. My goal today, as I've been working on here for hours, was to make sure that my tire is centered in my wheel well. So there's a few things to be aware of when it comes to this, but let me show you where I'm at first. Okay, first of all, we've got our new rotors and wheel bearings, and I did put the new ball joint on this side because things were a mess. So everything is so pathetic. Nothing here is copacetic, so I'm happy with that. Boy, I'm seeing that red paint on that rim going, those wheels would look really cool red, wouldn't they? Anyway, both sides are done that way. I've also discovered what a hot mess this fender really is. I knew it wasn't good, but that fender is ridiculously screwed up. So I've got a real job of work. It's bent like this, and it's smashed in like that, and it's squished in like this. Yeah, it's a hot mess. One of the things, I was just talking to Chris via text about this. It's a little bit hard to see here, but it does appear like the wheel may be a little bit far forward in that wheel well. However, I measured from down here to the center axle and from down here to center axle, and there's an inch difference. So it's not as much as it appears. Part of it is because of the scoop out. The second thing on this, apparently the cat is trying to figure out what the wheel weight is. The second thing on this, on these 1-ton truck fenders, the gap from that line where those body lines are to the fender lip is smaller. This wheel opening is overall just a little bit bigger on the 1-ton. My neighbor Jared has one of these trucks, a couple of them actually, I think, and he was telling me that the 1-ton truck fenders are different than the passenger or the half-ton truck fenders. I thought at first I had the half-tons, but I don't. I have the 1-tons. But it's going to be real easy to come up in here and just radius down a little bit and add a little bit of meat in here to just tighten that up just a little bit. On the other hand, when I get it on the ground, it looks like a huge amount of space, but when I get it on the ground, it may indeed be fine. So, come here, thing. There you go. How's that? Look. Oh, sure. I spin it for her, and she doesn't want to look at it now. Anyway, so, handful of air. The other thing that I found as I was doing this is, this is pivoted on that front, and so it was crooked. I was having a heck of a time getting that sorted out, but I do now. I'm glad this fender is in as good a shape as it is. My neighbor Jared has one of these trucks. There's another guy just a couple miles from here that has one also. So I have references close by that I can measure stuff, but at the end of the day, it's about making it look good, right? Okay, so I haven't done any more on the upper control arm mounts yet, but I can now. However, I really feel like I want to kind of get this roughed in on the Fender sheet metal a little bit more just to be 100% sure that everything is good. This Fender is going to be a job. But yeah, I think that's smart. I mean, I would probably be smart to find a Fender for this, but I don't have one. And I don't know where there's one handy. So as around here, it's not rusted. It's just beat to crap. So I guess we'll try to beat the crap out of it because somebody already beat the crap into it. Does that make sense? I don't know. One thing I've been considering and thinking about is the fact that I have no idea where the cab is going to be on this truck. This front end may be way too low and need to go way up anyway. I don't think it's going to be. And we can always drop the cab, but I kind of like the ride height. Becky doesn't want it to be slammed to the ground. But I think the way it is, we're shooting for about 10 inches of ground clearance, and I think that's going to be pretty good. Based upon what I'm seeing where the wheels are, looking at this, knowing where the metal comes in, I honestly think that we're pretty close to being right, because the original frame that this was on was a flat frame anyway. That's why I'm building this one flat. I'm not putting any, in it at all. Keeping it simple because we're trying to get it done as fast as possible. So anyway, that's coming along pretty good, I think. We could move this forward on the frame about 2 inches if we needed to. Of course, we can raise it up if we need to, but we really can't go down. But again, if you look at where these fenders go into the truck and where the skirts are, which are basically at the bottom of the fenders, I think we're pretty good. I really do. So, yeah, I did bang out this fender just a little bit in one spot to get it to fit on a little bit better. This is some heavy metal, and I don't mean Judas Priest. It's some heavy, heavy metal. Something else I wanted to share with you, Chris's nephew Ray has been on the channel several times. He does 3D printing, and he did a project for me over the last month for Becky for this truck, and I wanted to share that with you. Basically, he printed me 6, which I only really need 2, but he did 6. He printed me 6 of these emblems right here, 3D printed, and they have the little nut certs inside. I think they're an 832 or something like that. I'm waiting to hear from him. I don't have any of those screws, but pretty cool as far as I'm concerned. And of course, they go on here like so. So I got a little surprise for you, so hang on. Doesn't that look cool? Imagine what that's going to look like against a satin apple red, which is what we're going to paint this truck. That is going to be awesomer than an awesome thing. I just shot that with some Krylon silver. Turned out wonderful. It's exactly what I wanted for it. These things are like $50 a pop if you buy repops. Ray did these for me for nothing. He said the material cost was just pennies. And so it was just a little thank you gift for letting him work in the shop here and do things here. So thanks, Ray. I really, really do appreciate it. Becky appreciates it. And I'm pretty excited to get this thing painted red. But that's getting ahead right now. So I'm really thrilled. I mean, this thing really is not far away from sitting on its own. I need to decide if I'm going to extend the table and put the back half of the frame on it like this, or if I'm going to take this off, just build the back half of the frame and then join it together on the floor. I don't know. I'm tempted to extend this table out because it can come way up here and just get it done and slam it out and get all 4 wheels on it. And then I can take the table out of here and the truck will be able to roll around. That's probably the most sensible. Chris is going to be here in a few weeks. I may have a game plan in place for when he's here for us to just bang on this thing and get it so it's on its wheels again. I can't tell you how cool this is. So yeah, I've got obviously all the ball joints and the control arm bushings, and I need to finish the upper control arm mounts and all of that stuff. So part of it is I just want to let it sit. And this is important for you if you're going to do this stuff. I can't emphasize that enough. Be willing to just let something sit for a week if you need to, or 2 weeks, so you can just look at it, think about it, I could come out here tomorrow with fresh eyes and all of a sudden see stuff I didn't see today. I've been out here for 6 or 8 hours today working on this thing. And that's just the way it is. But it's a huge step forward to have the front wheels on it. There's no seals in it. The wheel bearings aren't packed. Obviously, the upper control arms are not mounted. There's no torsion bars in it yet. But again, it's really mocking things up to be able to move forward. And like I said, I kind of got a feeling that I'm going to do this and just come in here. The half-ton truck has got about 2 inches more, I think, in here, and it kind of fades out. So, but I don't know. When I get it on the ground, I may like it and leave it. And of course, it's going to be up to a girl too, what she wants, because it's her truck. In some ways, it's kind of funny because I really didn't intend to do anything on this today. I had to talk about a Tuesday episode that I have some notes on around here somewhere. I don't even know where they are. That's all I came out here to do. But it got bugging me about, did I get this right? Are these axle centers in the right spot? Because if it's not, then I need to account for that, because I would need to move the front clip forward, which is that one center mount. And I only have a little teeny bit of room to do that up here. And then we would need to possibly modify that cross member piece that we put in on the front. And well, there was just a lot of stuff. And I thought, I just got to get that off my mind. And I'm pretty pleased with the way it turned out. This fender was the first one I put on. And I thought, oh no, I've got the tires way too far forward in the wheel well. But then I started looking at the fender and comparing it to that one, and I realized this fender is just so mucked up. So here's the takeaway for you again. As much as you can, be sure you're assembling and checking things when you're fabricating and custom building. It goes back to the old carpenter's adage of, measure twice, cut once. I would say on some of these hot rods that I've built over the years, there's times we've put things together and taken them back apart again 20 times. I mean, how many times have you, just since this has been on the table here, how many times have you seen this front clip go on? Yeah, it's work. The whole thing we're doing is work, but it's fun work. And that's just the way it is. I've talked about that when I'm doing body work in the shop here. We're doing major work and we're fitting doors. Did a 57 Chevy for a buddy of mine, and we put those doors on and off of that car probably 20 times each. And those doors weigh 1,000,000 pounds. They're so heavy, and I didn't have that wonderful door jack that one of our viewers donated, which I'm eternally grateful for. Back then, it was two of us lifting them up Armstrong method, bolting everything down, making sure it's lined, tweaking what we were doing on the quarters and rocker panels, and take the door back off to do more finish work and put it back on. That's the way it is. So that's one of the takeaways I have for you is you're going to do that. If you're going to do it, I don't want to use the word right, but if you're going to get things to line up to the best of your abilities, you're going to be putting things on and off a whole bunch. One thing I was going to do today, I never got to, was do a little shop organization, but I much prefer that I did this. So I do want to bang that fender out into place. I think it'll be very important to get this lip done on both the fender and this front cowl piece so that we can get that all bolted down the way it's supposed to be on both sides. A couple episodes ago, we had worked on straightening this grill out. There's still more to do there, obviously. This is just the nature of the beast. So that'll do it for this one. Thanks for joining. I really appreciate you being here. Lots and lots and lots coming on Fundestruck. Like I said, Becky wants to drive this truck by next fall. Her birthday is in October, and she wants to drive it by her birthday. I got a job of work, but we're going to get it done, or I'm going to die trying. So there you go on that one. All right. Channel memberships for as little as $5 a month. We have merchandise, all kinds of stuff. I appreciate all of your support for the things you send me, those who do financial donations, the channel members themselves who contribute monthly to get access to behind-the-scenes content, etc., etc. And one more thing. It is important, and I don't want you to forget.